Before we cross into the unknown, leave a hello in the comments. Even the smallest signal can ripple across galaxies, guiding fellow wanderers to this tale. Let me know you're out there. A voice among the stars, listening with me beyond the veil. Engines roared as the fleet tore through the void, streaking past debris fields like molten comets. Admiral Kale's eyes never left the main viewport. Intelligence had underestimated Earth, dismissing its people as untrained and fragile. But he had seen the reports: farmers designing makeshift fortresses, children coordinating drone swarms, teachers writing battlefield AI code overnight. Humanity's war machine was not just its ships, it was its people, and the galaxy had mistaken them for prey. Red alert blared. Sensors picked up a fleet warp signature faster than expected. Kale's hand tightened on the console. "They think we'll flee," he muttered. "They think we'll break." The enemy's pride would be their undoing. From the bridge, he watched Earth's automated defenses spring to life, forming a lattice of fire and shields. Even now, hidden beneath the chaos, the citizens themselves directed the battle. Every launch, every strike choreographed by a population determined not to bow. Captain Arlen crouched in the communications chamber, decoding bursts of encrypted chatter. The enemy fleet was not advancing blindly. They were hunting something. Each transmission contained a breadcrumb, a star system, a concealed factory, a potential trap. Earth's AI predicted the patterns with terrifying precision, but Arlen couldn't shake the unease. Somewhere, deep in orbit, shadows moved faster than sensors could track, and not all of them were human. A sudden jolt rocked the command deck. Micro-missiles streaked past, scraping shields but detonating harmlessly. Arlen's fingers danced over the control panel. "Deploy, counter swarms," he barked. Tiny drones burst from hidden bays, weaving between enemy projectiles with lethal precision. Outside, Earth's orbital grid flared, a lattice of lasers and energy shields designed by civilians who had never left their homeworld. The galaxy underestimated humans, but not for long. Commander Leora stared at the transmission, disbelief clawing at her chest. One of Earth's colonies had turned traitor, offering coordinates to the enemy. Ships that had been allies now lay in wait, cloaked and silent, ready to ambush. Rage and sorrow warred in her mind. "We trained them, trusted them," she whispered, shaking her head. Yet betrayal only hardened resolve. Every human on Earth would fight, not just for survival, but for the honor of a species the galaxy had mocked. Leora redirected a squadron toward the hidden ambush. "Engage, silently," she ordered. Cloaked drones zipped ahead, scanning every void pocket. The enemy fleet's edge shimmered as the ambush activated, but Earth's AI anticipated the trap, rerouting energy and recalculating maneuvers. Leora felt a surge of pride. Humanity's ingenuity was its deadliest weapon. Even betrayal could not halt it. Earth's citizens were every bit the warriors the galaxy feared. Deep in a hidden facility, a teacher named Rena typed furiously, fingers bleeding from exhaustion. Lines of code cascaded across the holographic interface, constructing predictive algorithms for every conceivable battlefield scenario. "If they strike here, we counter here," she muttered, eyes scanning simulations. Outside, the drones she coordinated responded instantly, adjusting trajectories and formations. Every civilian contribution mattered, and Rena knew the galaxy would never forgive underestimating a population that fought with intellect as much as with fire. A sudden warning flashed. An enemy signal attempted to breach their systems. Rena's hand hovered over the override. "Not today," she muttered. Countermeasures were deployed and the intrusion fizzled. The AI rerouted defenses, launching swarms of microdrones that intercepted incoming ships. Each strike was precise, efficient, almost surgical. Rena leaned back, exhaling. The galaxy assumed Earth's battles were fought with soldiers alone. It was a mistake. Every citizen, every mind was a soldier, And now, humanity's intellect forged its deadliest arsenal. In a converted school complex, children adjusted drone controls with surgical precision. Ages ranged from 10 to 16, but each acted with the confidence of a seasoned officer. Swarm 3, follow trajectory Alpha 9, a boy called out, eyes glued to the holomap. The drones executed flawlessly, weaving through enemy fire, disabling weapon systems and redirecting strikes. Each citizen was a node in Earth's living defense network. Every child a strategist in the war the galaxy had thought simple. Admiral Kale observed from orbit, a grim smile on his face. No soft targets, he whispered to himself. Earth was a fortress, alive with the ingenuity of its people. The enemy had assumed weakness, underestimating civilians. But now, their pride would crumble, and they would learn the terrifying truth. Humanity fought as one, soldiers, teachers, farmers, and children alike. And from this unity, an unstoppable force would emerge. Commander Leora scanned the void, noticing tiny pulses of light flickering across her sensor array. Enemy communications were being rerouted through ghost channels, silent signals invisible to most systems. "They're coordinating faster than we expected," she muttered, but Earth's AI already anticipated each shift, adapting instantly. Ships moved like liquid steel, anticipating strikes that hadn't even been launched. Leora's jaw tightened. The galaxy thought speed and firepower were enough, but Earth fought with foresight, intuition, and every mind at its command. A fleet warped in from behind a nearby asteroid belt, expecting to ambush. Instead, it emerged into a network of automated mines and counter-drones. Explosions blossomed silently against the void, each enemy ship's maneuver anticipated and nullified. Leora's voice was calm but fierce. "Signal the home grid. Expand the perimeter." Even the shadows in space couldn't hide from humans who fought with both technology and instinct. From the dark side of a dying planet, Admiral Kale observed shapes in the void, ships that seemed to vanish and reappear, cloaked and untouchable. "The enemy thinks they're ghosts," he murmured, noting the irregular patterns. But the fleet's AI had detected micro-distortions in their warp trails. Humans did not panic at uncertainty, they calculated it. Every flicker of a ship, every anomaly in space became data. Kale gave the order. "Deploy decoy swarms." Tiny drones emitted false energy signatures, drawing the cloaked fleet into traps. When enemy ships revealed themselves, Earth's orbital cannons unleashed torrents of concentrated plasma, slicing through the ambush. "They thought invisibility would save them," Kale said, gripping the console. "They underestimated humans who turn every disadvantage into an advantage." Reports of betrayal multiplied. Some colonies had turned against Earth, seeking favor with the enemy. Commander Leora's stomach twisted with frustration. Trust was a weapon as delicate as a blade. Yet every act of treachery only honed humanity's vigilance. "We'll protect those who remain loyal," she told her officers, "and we'll neutralize the rest before they can harm us." Plans were redrawn, contingency grids expanded, and surveillance networks doubled. Every move had to be calculated. A daring raid exposed one rogue colony's hidden shipyard. Swarms of drones struck silently, disabling engines and communications. The enemy fleet was caught between betrayal and counterattack, unsure where the next strike would come from. Leora smiled grimly. Earth's people did not just retaliate, they adapted, learning from treachery and converting it into a strategic advantage. Humanity's resilience was the galaxy's nightmare. On the outskirts of a farming colony, fields transformed into fortresses, metal and plasma turrets rising from rows of crops. Farmers, armed with ingenuity and resolve, coordinated strikes against mechanized invaders. "Keep the fire lines tight," one shouted, directing automated artillery. Enemy drones swooped down, expecting soft targets, but met an unyielding lattice of resistance. The galaxy's assumption that civilians were defenseless burned away in the flames. From orbit, Admiral Kale watched the human ingenuity below. "This is why they feared us," he whispered. "Farmers became tacticians. Every crop line a defensive vector. Every civilian is a sentinel." Enemy ships faltered, unsure where the next attack would come from. Earth was alive, not just with technology, but with the spirit of every citizen ready to fight. No target was soft, no weakness exploitable. Humanity's strength was in its people, united as an indomitable army. In a subterranean control center, children monitored every drone, every microchip, every energy pulse. Ages didn't matter. Skill, precision, and intuition did. "Swarm Delta, intercept," a girl commanded, eyes scanning multiple hologrids. Enemy ships faltered as patterns they couldn't predict controlled their fates. Earth's youth were not passengers. They were the orchestrators of a war the galaxy thought simple. Admiral Kyle observed silently. "No one expected this," he murmured. Children, farmers, teachers, all had become soldiers. Earth was not just a planet, it was a living grid, alive with strategy, firepower, and intellect. Every enemy move met resistance. Every assumption shattered. The galaxy's hubris would be its downfall. Humanity didn't just fight, they evolved in real time. A species-wide army that left no one unarmed, no one unprepared. In a dim lab aboard a converted orbital station, Rena discovered a fragment of enemy code buried deep in intercepted transmissions. It pulsed with complexity, predicting human tactics before they happened. "They've learned from us," she whispered, alarm threading her voice. But Earth's AI was faster, rewriting strategies in milliseconds. Every algorithm the enemy deployed became a puzzle, a challenge the humans solved with creativity that no machine could anticipate. Outside, swarms of drones danced through space, intercepting enemy probes. Each movement seemed random but was guided by Rena's real-time calculations. "They think they can outsmart us with patterns," she muttered, watching simulations. "But every prediction is already anticipated." Earth's defense was not just a reaction. It was evolution, a mind that adapted faster than the galaxy could imagine. Commander Leora watched from orbit as enemy ships attempted to disable Earth's orbital grid. Microships with cloaked torpedoes threaded through defense nets, seeking weak points. Leora clenched her jaw. "They'll find none," she said, sending tactical commands across the fleet. Earth's orbit became a maze of countermeasures: laser turrets, plasma nets, and decoy drones. Every attempt to sabotage was met with instant correction. A sudden eruption of energy marked a destroyed torpedo bay. Leora smirked. "Try again," she whispered. Below, civilians coordinated repair drones, fixing automated defenses before the enemy could strike again. Humanity didn't just defend. It adapted in real time, turning every assault into an opportunity to tighten its grip. The enemy had underestimated a species whose resolve was limitless and whose mind was collective. Admiral Kale's console blinked with intercepted transmissions, rogue colonies whispering coordinates, supply routes, even civilian networks to the enemy. Each message was a dagger, and yet the Admiral saw opportunity. "They want chaos? Let them see order instead," he muttered. Earth's AI digested the betrayals, recalibrating every defense, converting treachery into tactical advantage. A squadron of loyal drones feigned withdrawal, luring enemy ships into a kill zone. When the trap closed, torpedoes struck with precision, neutralizing the rogue assets without harming innocent colonies. Kyle exhaled, watching the simulated outcomes. Humanity learned from betrayal. Each act of treachery only sharpened their strategy. The galaxy assumed betrayal would weaken humans, but it only made them stronger. A sudden barrage lit the void as enemy warships unleashed plasma storms against Earth's perimeter. Commander Leora gritted her teeth. "Maintain formation. Focus fire." The fleet responded as one organism, drones weaving between beams, shields adjusting instantaneously, and automated cannons predicting trajectories with ruthless precision. Humanity's response was not panic. It was poetry in motion, a living ballet of destruction. From orbit, Kale observed the enemy's confusion. Their fire had no rhythm, no coordination, only brute force. "They think destruction is enough," he whispered. "They don't know we fight with more than ships. Every mind, every citizen, is part of the war." In the void, flames danced and ships shattered, but Earth's defenses held, proving the galaxy had severely underestimated the human spirit. Below the orbital grid, children piloted drones with uncanny precision. "Alpha Swarm, flank from the left," shouted one, barely 13, eyes fixed on holo-tracking maps. Enemy ships faltered under unanticipated strikes, systems hacked mid-flight, weapons redirected against their fleet. The galaxy had assumed youth meant vulnerability, but here, age was irrelevant. Skill, intuition, and coordination turned the innocents into warriors. Admiral Kale leaned back, hands on the console, awe mingling with pride. "No soft targets," he repeated, "no weak points." From classrooms to fields to orbital stations, every human was a soldier, every mind a weapon. The enemy had misjudged Earth, dismissing civilians as expendable. But the galaxy would soon learn. Humanity fought as one, and its strength lay not in ships alone, but in the hearts and minds of every citizen. Commander Leora monitored encrypted pulses bouncing off distant asteroids. Something moved in the void that defied their scans. Signals too faint, too irregular to trace. "They're testing us," she murmured. Each flicker carried intent, a hidden pattern in the chaos. Earth's AI attempted to decode it in real time, predicting maneuvers the enemy hadn't yet committed. Every unanswered question gnawed at her mind. A drone squadron launched silently, tracing the pulses with precision. The enemy's hidden ships revealed themselves only briefly before disappearing again. Leora's team anticipated each flicker, intercepting without revealing their position. Humans did not just respond. They forced the enemy into patterns they could exploit. The void itself became a chessboard, and Earth always had the first move. Sensors flared across Admiral Kale's bridge. A colossal construct drifted between two gas giants, larger than any fleet, pulsing with destructive energy. "The galaxy's nightmares were not stories," Kale muttered. Enemy whispers called it the Devastator, capable of erasing planets in seconds. Earth had faced threats before, but nothing on this scale. Kale tapped into tactical networks, sending counterprobes to measure its weak points. Civilians monitored orbital defenses, preparing emergency protocols. Even with its size, the construct could not hide from human ingenuity. "We'll adapt," Kale said firmly. "Every weapon has a flaw, every machine a code, and humans, we turn threats into opportunities." Reports flooded in that another colony had sided with the enemy, supplying coordinates for a devastator strike. Commander Leora's fists clenched. Each betrayal deepened the peril, yet sharpened the response. Humans had learned from previous treachery. Every act of betrayal now became bait for traps, data to exploit. Leora deployed countermeasures, rerouting energy grids and sending automated decoys to lure attackers into a net of drones. Enemy ships collided with their protocols as systems were hacked mid-flight. Betrayal had become a weapon, one the galaxy had never anticipated. Humanity turned weakness into strength, transforming chaos into calculated precision. Deep beneath the planet's surface, engineers and civilians coordinated a vast defense network, sending encrypted signals that mirrored natural patterns of the planet itself. Enemy sensors misread the signals as random noise. "They think the planet is unarmed," one technician whispered, "but it's alive with strategy." Earth itself became a weapon, a grid of intelligence and firepower invisible until activated. Above, orbital defenses flared as microdrones intercepted approaching ships. Each attack was mirrored by civilians adjusting trajectories, redirecting fire and calculating energy use in real time. Every human, every AI node, every piece of code formed a seamless, living defense. The galaxy had underestimated Earth, but it would soon learn that the planet was not a target. It was a fortress. In underground bunkers, children controlled swarms of micro-drones, their small hands moving with precision across holomaps. They redirected plasma strikes mid-flight, hacked enemy sensors, and coordinated assaults faster than adult commanders could process. Age mattered nothing. Intellect, intuition, and courage did. Each child became a strategist, every swarm a weapon. Admiral Kale watched silently, a mixture of pride and awe in his eyes. Humanity fought with a single, unified mind. Soldiers, engineers, teachers, farmers, and children alike. Every citizen was a cog in an unstoppable machine. The galaxy had mocked Earth's civilians. Now it would learn that humanity's strength was not just technology. It was the people, every one of them, ready to fight and win. Commander Leora scanned the orbital sensors, tension coiling in her chest. Enemy fleets shadowed Earth's perimeter, moving in patterns too precise for random chance. "They're waiting for the perfect strike," she muttered. But Earth's AI anticipated every warp signature, every sublight vector. Humans did not simply react, they forced the enemy to reveal themselves first. Drones erupted into the void, weaving through missile barrages while projecting decoy signals. Enemy ships faltered, unsure where the true threats lay. Leora smiled grimly. Humanity had no illusions about brute force. It thrived on foresight, deception, and coordination. Every shadow in orbit was a potential trap, and the enemy would stumble into it. Sensors flared red. The Devastator shifted position, its energy core pulsing like a heartbeat across the void. Admiral Kale's hands tightened on the console. "Brace all grids," he commanded. Earth's defenses, woven into every city and orbital station, activated in unison. Every node became a weapon, every citizen a soldier. Leora's drones raced toward the construct, scanning for vulnerabilities. Every maneuver was precise, every calculation critical. Civilians monitored energy fluctuations, sending real-time updates to the fleet. Humanity did not tremble at the scale of destruction. The planet itself had become a living shield, and even the Devastator, enormous and relentless, would not break them. Enemy microships darted through Earth's defenses, targeting orbital relays with surgical precision. "They think one breach will topple us," Leora muttered. The AI had anticipated these patterns, rerouting power, deploying microdrones, and locking down vulnerable nodes. Every attempt met resistance calculated with uncanny accuracy. A relay exploded in a controlled detonation, luring enemy ships into trap corridors. Plasma beams sliced across the void, intersecting with rogue drones redirected by children in command bunkers. The enemy's advantage vanished as humans transformed chaos into strategy. Every failed strike reinforced Earth's defenses. Every attack became an opportunity to learn and retaliate. Admiral Kale leaned forward, issuing commands to the fleet. Swarms of micro-drones intercepted the Devastator's outer defenses, while orbital cannons locked onto structural weak points. Civilians coordinated repair drones, maintaining shields and power grids. The planet was a single unified weapon of unprecedented scale. The first volley struck. Explosions rippled across the enemy construct, energy pulses faltering under coordinated fire. Kale's voice was calm but commanding. "Press the advantage. No hesitation." Humanity did not merely defend. They fought with ingenuity, strategy, and unity. The galaxy had expected surrender. Instead, they witnessed the rise of a planetary army. In underground command centers, children guided swarms of drones through precise formations, adjusting trajectories in real time as enemy countermeasures scrambled. Swarm Theta, left flank. "Now!" a girl shouted, eyes scanning holomaps with astonishing clarity. The enemy faltered, unable to adapt to human intuition at every node. Admiral Kale observed silently. "No soft targets," he murmured. Every citizen, from children to engineers, was integrated into a living war grid. The Devastator, the galaxy's ultimate weapon, had met its match in the collective intelligence, courage, and adaptability of humanity. The first strike was not a victory alone, but a promise. Earth would not yield. Orbital alarms blared as the Devastator unleashed its first full-scale assault. Plasma beams scorched satellites while microships swarmed around orbital relays. Commander Leora's voice cut through the chaos. "Hold positions. Activate countergrids." Civilians on the ground coordinated shield generators while drones weaved through the storm of destruction, intercepting incoming fire with precision unmatched by machines alone. Admiral Kale's eyes never left the main viewport. "They underestimated Earth's resolve," he muttered. "Every citizen became part of the planetary defense, every node a weapon." The Devastator's firepower collided with human ingenuity, producing calculated chaos. The galaxy had assumed Earth would crumble under pressure, but humanity thrived in it. Drones zipped through the void like silver lightning, redirecting enemy missiles, hacking weapons mid-flight, and creating illusions of multiple fleets. "Swarm, Sigma, intercept," Leora barked. The enemy faltered, unsure which attacks were real and which were projections. Earth's AI adapted instantly, predicting and countering threats before they materialized. Below, children and engineers coordinated through hologrids, ensuring every plasma strike found its mark. Civilians launched microsatellites with improvised EMP pulses, crippling enemy subsystems. From orbit, Kale observed a symphony of destruction, the Devastator's outer defenses failing under the synchronized assault of human intellect and firepower. Enemy ships attempted a daring breach of Earth's orbital perimeter, seeking to strike critical infrastructure. Leora's team responded instantly, guiding drones to intercept, firing precision plasma bursts, and activating decoy signals. Every move anticipated, every maneuver countered, the humans turned defense into offense. Kale gripped the console as reports poured in. "They thought a single strike would topple us," he said. "They were wrong." Civilians patched damaged shields, redirected energy grids, and maintained drone formations, ensuring the breach held. Humanity's combined effort had created a fortress where every citizen was a soldier and every soldier a node in the planetary defense grid. Rena's fingers flew across holographic keyboards, sending predictive algorithms to drones and orbital defenses. Enemy patterns were analyzed, intercepted, and redirected in milliseconds. "They can't adapt fast enough," she murmured, eyes glued to the display. Every maneuver they attempted was anticipated and countered, turning human intuition into a weapon that technology alone could not replicate. Drones veered, missiles detonated mid-flight, and energy beams struck their targets with lethal precision. Civilians below cheered quietly, their coordination flawless. The Devastator's shields flickered under the relentless, algorithm-driven assault. Humanity had combined intellect, courage, and technology into a singular, unstoppable force, turning chaos into a calculated victory. Children orchestrated microdrones in precise formations, hacking enemy systems mid-flight and redirecting energy blasts with astonishing accuracy. "Delta Swarm, left flank, override," one shouted. Even the youngest minds controlled entire sectors of the battlefield, proving that age meant nothing when skill and intuition commanded the war. Admiral Kale watched silently, awe and pride in his eyes. Earth's citizens, soldiers, engineers, teachers, farmers, and children, had turned the planet into an impenetrable fortress. The Devastator, feared across the galaxy, struggled under coordinated strikes it could neither predict nor counter. Humanity had proven one immutable truth: underestimated humans are unstoppable. Sensors flared as fissures appeared along the Devastator's hull. Commander Leora grinned, directing drones toward the weak points. "Focus all fire on the core nodes," she commanded. Plasma beams struck in coordinated precision, micro-drones infiltrating gaps the enemy hadn't anticipated. Earth's civilians were no longer just participants. They were the war itself, seamlessly integrated with orbital AI. Admiral Kale's console lit with damage reports. "They thought size would save them," he murmured. Energy pulses faltered under human ingenuity. The planet's defenses, from underground bunkers to orbital grids, worked as one organism. The galaxy had assumed humans would break, but now cracks ran through the Devastator's mighty armor. Farmers and engineers on the surface monitored orbital strikes, adjusting defenses in real time. One farmer directed a swarm of drones through crop fields, turning each stalk into a micro-turret launch pad. Civilians, untrained in traditional combat, became tactical geniuses, proving that Earth's strength was not in soldiers alone, but in the ingenuity of every citizen. Leora's fleet executed rapid maneuvers above. Every civilian adjustment rippled through the battlefield, coordinating with drones, microships, and orbital cannons. The Devastator's attacks faltered, misdirected, and countered. Humanity fought not only with firepower but with creativity, turning the battlefield into a living puzzle only they could solve. New intelligence revealed a deeper threat. Enemy infiltrators had embedded themselves in civilian networks, attempting sabotage. Leora's team moved quickly, isolating rogue signals, redirecting drones, and launching counter-hacks. Every citizen became a guardian, their vigilance as crucial as any turret or plasma cannon. Admiral Kale observed the swift neutralization of the threat. "They underestimated the human mind," he said. "Even hidden enemies could not outthink a species that treated every individual as part of a collective defense network. Shadows might exist, but Earth's unity illuminated them all." Drones and orbital cannons focused fire on the Devastator's core. Energy flares erupted as the structure shuddered under relentless precision strikes. "Keep pressure steady," Leora shouted. Civilians on the surface watched monitors, cheering silently as their coordinated inputs guided micro-drones into every vulnerable crevice. Admiral Kale's voice was calm but firm. "This is the moment they realize humans fight differently." The Devastator's core quaked, systems failing, energy surging uncontrollably. Humanity did not merely destroy, it exploited, anticipated, and outmaneuvered. Every mind, from the youngest child to the oldest engineer, played a role in the victory still unfolding. Just as the Devastator began to collapse, an unknown signal pulsed through the fleet. Enemy reinforcements warped in, faster and more advanced than any previous ships. "They've been hiding something," Leora said, eyes narrowing. Humanity's triumph had been hard-won, but the battle was far from over. Admiral Kale's expression hardened. "Prepare for contingency protocols. They expected us to overextend. Now we show them adaptation." Every civilian, every soldier, every drone is prepared for a renewed assault. Humanity had survived the first strike of the Devastator, but the galaxy was about to learn that Earth was never predictable, and every move would be countered with brilliance. Enemy reinforcements emerged from warp trails, sleek and faster than any ships Earth had encountered. Commander Leora's fleet adjusted instantly, guided by civilian-managed AI nodes. "They're testing our limits," she muttered. The orbital grid flared with countermeasures, drones weaving between beams, intercepting incoming fire. Every citizen on Earth played a role, anticipating attacks before they fully formed. Admiral Kale observed quietly. "They expected exhaustion," he said, "but humans thrive under pressure." The planet's defenses held firm, microdrones adapting to each strike, civilian coordination seamless. Every move the enemy made only reinforced the resilience and ingenuity of Earth's population. Rena tapped furiously on holographic displays, decoding fragments of the enemy's hidden strategy. "They've embedded predictive AI into their reinforcements," she said. "They can anticipate our maneuvers, if we act predictably." The solution wasn't raw firepower. It was unpredictability. chaos controlled with precision. Children and civilians rerouted drones in patterns no AI could anticipate, creating feints and decoys that turned the enemy's predictions against them. The reinforcements faltered, exposed by the unpredictability of human ingenuity. Earth's advantage was clear. Intellect, adaptability, and coordination across every citizen made them unpredictable and deadly. Farmers, engineers, and children coordinated from underground bunkers, directing energy surges to orbital shields. One teenager rerouted a damaged drone swarm, turning it into a makeshift EMP launcher that disabled an enemy squadron mid-flight. Civilians were no longer observers. They were frontline strategists, every action critical to survival. Commander Leora smiled grimly as reports poured in. "Every citizen contributes," she said. Drones intercepted, shields redirected, and orbital cannons fired with lethal precision. Humanity's defense was living, evolving, and unstoppable. The galaxy had misjudged Earth, and now the full force of its population was on display. Despite repeated strikes, fragments of the Devastator remained operational. Sensors indicated a secondary core deep within the construct, pulsing with undetected energy. "They built redundancies," Kale murmured. "They assumed we wouldn't discover it." The threat was not over. Earth's citizens needed to remain vigilant and precise. Rena and her team recalibrated algorithms to predict hidden energy nodes, while children guided microdrones into previously unscanned void pockets. Orbital cannons adjusted to strike with pinpoint accuracy. Every civilian action was a calculated counterstrike. Humanity fought not only with firepower but with collective intelligence, turning every hidden threat into an opportunity to dominate the battlefield. Drones surged toward the secondary core, guided by civilians on Earth and AI in orbit. Every shot, every strike, perfectly timed. Energy pulses from the Devastator faltered as coordinated attacks disabled its defenses systematically. Humanity's ingenuity, not brute force, dictated the battle's rhythm. Admiral Kale exhaled, eyes glowing with pride. "The galaxy will remember this," he said. Earth's civilians had not just survived. They had led, adapted, and dominated. The Devastator, the ultimate weapon, was on the brink of collapse. Humanity's strength was clear. Intellect, courage, and unity made every citizen a warrior. The tide had turned, and the galaxy would never forget the resilience of Earth. Sensors flared. Deep inside the Devastator, a previously undetected secondary core pulsed with raw energy. Commander Leora's jaw tightened. "They saved the real threat for last," she muttered. Civilians monitored the void, adjusting drones and recalculating energy patterns. Every movement had to be perfect. One misstep could mean planetary devastation. Admiral Kale issued precise orders. Orbital cannons targeted microfractures while drones infiltrated void corridors. Children and engineers coordinated from subterranean grids, rerouting shields and optimizing firepower. Humanity had faced overwhelming force before, but this hidden core demanded absolute precision. The planet itself became a living command center, a fortress built from every citizen's ingenuity. Enemy reinforcements warped in unexpectedly, emerging from angles no sensors had predicted. Leora's fleet twisted in formation, microdrones intercepting missiles, while civilians rerouted energy grids to shield vital sectors. "They want us off balance," she muttered. But unpredictability had always been humanity's weapon. Children guided swarms through impossible trajectories, hacking enemy targeting systems mid-flight. Engineers deployed rapid response drones that repaired and redirected orbital defenses. Every citizen became a node in a living network of strategy. The second assault met human ingenuity with greater intensity, and the enemy faltered. The Devastator shuddered as coordinated strikes reached its secondary core. Energy fluctuations sparked along its hull, systems failing in cascading sequences. Leora's fleet focused fire on weak points, guided by civilian-managed AI. Each strike was surgical, precise, devastating. Admiral Kale leaned forward, eyes fixed on the glowing fissures. They underestimated Earth's adaptability, he said. Civilians patched orbital shields, redirected drones, and calculated trajectories faster than the enemy could react. Humanity was not only defending, it was dismantling the ultimate weapon with intellect and unity, one pulse at a time. Underground bunkers buzzed with coordination. Children, engineers, and farmers sent live updates to drones and orbital cannons. "Swarm Omega, synchronize," a teenager shouted. Drones struck simultaneously from multiple vectors, tearing at the Devastator's remaining shields. Each citizen was a conductor in a symphony of destruction. Leora's fleet danced through energy storms, striking with precision. Kale's voice rang out, calm and commanding. "Hold the line. Press the advantage." Humanity's collective effort transformed chaos into order. Every individual, soldier, civilian, and child alike, was a weapon, a strategist, a guardian. The enemy had not prepared for an opponent that fought as one. Drones penetrated the Devastator's core, guided by civilians and AI in flawless harmony. Energy arcs flared violently as the construct's systems collapsed. Leora's fingers flew across the console, directing micro-strikes that exploited every weakness. The galaxy's most feared weapon teetered on the brink of annihilation. Admiral Kale watched in silent awe. Humanity had proven the impossible. A planet defended not just by soldiers but by the ingenuity, courage, and unity of every citizen. The Devastator fell, energy dissipating into the void. Earth had survived. The galaxy would remember that when underestimated, humanity's resilience was unstoppable, and every individual, every child, every mind was a warrior. The void fell silent. Debris from the Devastator drifted through space, its destruction a testament to human coordination and ingenuity. Commander Leora exhaled, scanning the battlefield. "All clear," she whispered. But even as the enemy retreated, sensors detected residual energy signatures, unknown and irregular. Victory had come at a cost, and the galaxy's dangers were far from over. Admiral Kale observed the field. "Silence can be deceptive," he said. Civilians and soldiers alike remained vigilant, analyzing debris, recalibrating drones, and scanning for residual threats. Earth had survived, but the lessons of the Devastator were only beginning to unfold. Rena's research uncovered fragments of the Devastator's origin encoded in salvaged data. It was not merely a weapon. It had been built using intelligence harvested from countless civilizations, including echoes of Earth's technology. "They studied us," she said. "Every step we took, every tactic we used, influenced this weapon." Leora's fleet scanned remnants for clues, while civilians pieced together patterns embedded in the debris. Humanity realized the Devastator's construction was both a threat and a warning. Knowledge of its origin would guide their next moves and perhaps prevent future attacks on an unprecedented scale. Engineers, teachers, and children worked in unison, using the Devastator's data to enhance Earth's defense grid. Algorithms refined, drones recalibrated, and energy shields strengthened. Civilians were no longer just defenders. They were architects of future security, ensuring Earth would never be caught unprepared again. Admiral Kale watched as underground grids coordinated with orbital defenses. "They've become the first line of strategy," he said. Every citizen, whether monitoring drones or analyzing data, had proven indispensable. The galaxy had underestimated Earth's population, and now humanity's intellect and resilience were being cemented into every defense system. Enemy forces warped out, leaving behind fractured fleets and scattered data cores. Leora's fleet pursued cautiously, wary of hidden traps. "They retreat, but it's a feint," she warned. Civilians monitored all transmissions, ensuring that every movement was tracked and analyzed for future encounters. Admiral Kale noted the pattern. "They've learned something about us," he said. Humanity's adaptability, collective intelligence and unity had shifted the balance. The enemy's withdrawal was not victory. It was recognition of Earth's resilience. Every citizen, every microdrone, every child in command had redefined what it meant to fight and survive. In subterranean command centers, civilians sifted through debris, decoding weapon fragments and reconstructing enemy tactics. Leora watched as children highlighted overlooked anomalies, engineers mapped energy flows, and teachers analyzed predictive patterns. The battle was over, but the knowledge gained was a weapon in itself. Admiral Kale's voice carried across the fleet. The Devastator may be gone, but its lessons remain. Every citizen is now part of a living strategy, and Earth will never be caught off guard again. Humanity had survived, adapted, and learned. An entire planet transformed into an unbreakable fortress, ready for whatever the galaxy might throw next. Sensors flickered with an anomaly. Encrypted transmissions from deep space, neither fleet nor known civilization. Commander Leora leaned forward, eyes scanning the data. "Something, or someone, wants our attention," she muttered. Civilians analyzed the signals, mapping patterns that seemed almost sentient. Admiral Kale instructed the fleet to maintain readiness while civilian coders decoded the transmissions. The message was clear. A new player had entered the conflict, their intentions unknown. Humanity's unity and adaptability were about to face a challenge that even the Devastator could not have prepared them for. Drones and scouts launched toward the unknown coordinates, guided by civilian strategists. Every path, trajectory, and energy fluctuation were monitored and recalculated in real time. "Proceed cautiously," Leora warned. The unknown entity's presence felt deliberate, almost like a probe of human tactics. Children coordinated interception drones while engineers monitored power grids, creating a living network of reconnaissance. Kale noted the meticulous planning of the unknown enemy. Earth had survived brute force before, but subtlety, intelligence, and deception presented a new, unseen battlefield. Rena's team decrypted fragments of the transmissions, a pattern of intelligence that mimicked Earth's own AI networks. "They've studied us in secret," she said. "Someone, or something, has been watching humanity all along." Every strategy Earth had employed against the Devastator was already anticipated, recorded, and analyzed. Admiral Kale's eyes narrowed. "We've been under observation," he said. Civilians worked furiously, adjusting drone protocols and orbital defenses to counteract this subtle surveillance. Humanity's greatest weapon, its unpredictability, was about to be tested against an intelligence that had studied it intimately. Earth's citizens mapped every possible response to the new threat. Farmers converted fields into mobile energy relays. Children managed drone swarms. Engineers modified orbital cannons for faster deployment. The planet became a living strategy board, every individual a piece capable of decisive action. Leora's fleet coordinated attacks with the civilian network, ensuring that every maneuver accounted for the enemy's predictive intelligence. Kale emphasized one truth: we do not wait. We act, we adapt, and we strike before they can anticipate us. Humanity prepared not for defense alone, but for a counter-invasion that would redefine the galaxy's understanding of Earth. Drones surged toward the outer edges of the unknown fleet, probing weaknesses, testing reactions. Children guided formations with uncanny intuition, redirecting energy blasts mid-flight. Leora's fleet shadowed them, coordinating orbital cannons and microships to exploit every revealed vulnerability. Admiral Kale observed quietly. "They've underestimated Earth before," he murmured. "Now they will learn that observation does not equal control." Humanity struck with precision, intelligence, and unpredictability, demonstrating that no surveillance could fully anticipate a planet united in strategy, courage, and ingenuity. The counter-invasion had begun. Drones and microships surged through enemy formations, guided by civilian strategists on Earth. Commander Leora's fleet carved paths through shields and energy barriers, exposing gaps in the unknown fleet's defense. Every move was calculated, every maneuver a test of adaptability. Admiral Kale watched as civilians redirected orbital fire, patched drones mid-flight, and predicted enemy reactions. Humanity had become a living, breathing war machine. Even the mysterious intelligence struggled to adapt to coordinated action orchestrated by a planet united in mind and purpose. A massive signal burst revealed the source of the surveillance, a sentient intelligence built from remnants of destroyed civilizations, including fragments of Earth's own AI. "They've learned from everyone," Rena whispered, "and now they test humanity." Leora adjusted tactics instantly. Civilians adapted faster than the intelligence could predict, creating false patterns, redirecting attacks, and exploiting every weakness. Earth's ingenuity, intuition, and unpredictability transformed the battlefield into a trap of their design. The puppeteer had underestimated the collective mind of an entire planet. Coordinated strikes reached the sentient intelligence's core systems. Energy pulses surged uncontrollably as orbital cannons and drones tore through defensive algorithms. Children redirected microswarms mid-flight to exploit emergent weaknesses, turning every fragment of data into an advantage. Admiral Kale's voice was calm but triumphant. "They calculated everything, except unity." Civilians patched shields, adjusted trajectories, and anticipated every remaining defensive measure. The intelligence faltered, unable to adapt to the collective creativity and courage of humanity. Its collapse was total, a testament to Earth's indomitable spirit. Debris from the destroyed intelligence floated through space as Earth's fleet stabilized formations. Drones returned, guided by children and civilian operators who monitored every energy fluctuation. The planet had survived, adapted, and emerged victorious from the unseen enemy's challenge. Admiral Kale surveyed the battlefield. "No weapon, no intelligence, no surveillance can match a planet united," he said. Humanity had proven that every citizen, soldier, civilian, child, and engineer was part of an unstoppable force. The galaxy would remember Earth not as a target, but as a fortress, a mind, and a heart. On Earth, people returned to daily life, but nothing was the same. Lessons learned in battle reshaped education, strategy, and technology. Children taught drone coordination, engineers refined defense networks, and every citizen became a living guardian of the planet. Admiral Kale looked out at the stars, knowing the galaxy had underestimated humanity, and would never do so again. "We fight not as individuals, but as one mind, one heart, one people," he said. From farmers to children, from engineers to teachers, Earth had become more than a planet. It was a symbol, unbreakable, united, unstoppable. The galaxy had witnessed the legacy of humanity. The end. Thank you for watching AstroMyths. If you enjoyed this story, smash that like button and subscribe for more epic sci-fi tales, cosmic mysteries, and mind-bending myths. And if you like this story, or have a myth, mystery, or galaxy you'd like us to explore, drop your ideas in the comments. We're always listening. Until next time, keep your eyes on the stars and your mind open to the unknown.